It's Gabby, and I have been attempting to film this probably for like 2 weeks now. I filmed it so many times and I have failed. Anyway, this is a little sit down video. A lot of people have been like titling these videos, you know, like what you need for college or college essentials. Also, I am wearing a top. The top is just almost my skin color. Don't judge. Okay, but anyway, people have been saying that these videos are like that. I am labeling this video things that saved me freshman year of college. So these are like kind of the most random things you can think of. Okay, so we're gonna start with the first one. First one I didn't realize until a couple days into school, but this is one of the earliest things I realized I needed. Mesh laundry bags, like the little ones for socks and underwear. The underwear doesn't really get caught, but oh my gosh, there's a lip under the washers, and my socks got caught in the disgustingness. And because they're not like cleaned all that often and all that kind of stuff, it's really gross. And I had some socks that I threw away immediately after washing them because they turned out 10 times grosser than when I put them in the washer. So that was one of the first things that I was like, need to buy that. Bought mine from Amazon. Highly love them. I'm so sorry, I'm getting texts. Okay, let me turn my phone on silent. Okay, so the next thing is a drying rack. I actually brought one to college, and this was the most random thing. And like, a lot of people assume that, you know, if you don't own clothing that you hand wash, you don't need a drying rack. But for some weird reason, my dorm last year had no hooks. The only hook was in the closet. There was nowhere else to put your towels or anything. And in the closet, you know, the closet was wood. So it would start, you know, being gross or whatever, and your stuff wouldn't dry if you hung it in the closet. So I always had my drying rack out hanging my towels after I took a shower for them to dry. So like, that was something that I literally used every single day. It was out every single day. So yeah. Another thing I learned I needed, and I didn't have freshman year, that I am buying for sophomore year, and I'm also, all of these things I bought. Actually, the first three things I bought from Amazon, or this one I'm buying from Amazon, but a vacuum. I'm buying a very fancy vacuum. You do not need as fancy as I'm buying. But for some weird, odd reason, the vacuums didn't work at my college. They don't work at all. They don't suck anything. I learned that the hard way because I accidentally cracked a mirror and it shattered on the floor, and I had to hand pick up every shard of glass because the vacuum didn't work. So yeah, highly recommend a vacuum. You can get a cheap handheld vacuum. I'm buying a very fancy vacuum that I'm gonna have for years to come, but you don't have to. Okay, next thing is kind of the most random, and also the thing that nobody in our generation thinks of, but is literally the thing that saved me and saved my schoolwork. Ethernet cables. I have no idea where my last Ethernet cable is. I might have one somewhere around here to show you guys, but I don't think so. But basically, Ethernet cables are plugs that plug into this weird little thing in the wall and plug into, you have to use an adapter to plug into your computer. But highly recommend this because the internet my school's internet was horrible, but every school's internet, everyone talks about how horrible school's internet is during finals week. And if you know you're gonna have to do work on the internet during finals week, I suggest buying one. Honestly, if you ask your parents probably all own one from TVs back in the day, because TVs used Ethernet cables, and some TVs still use Ethernet cables. I know fancy ones don't, but like, you know, older ones still do. So I highly recommend it. Okay, next thing, Lockbox. I have mine. I did not buy this from Amazon, so I cannot link it down below. Also, I will be linking the things I did buy from Amazon down below. I have Amazon Prime, so I use Amazon fairly often. But a Lockbox, mine is really small, and I have a loop one that connects to the bed. so it's harder to cut and harder to steal. But honestly, mine is black, and I had it under my bed, and like almost nobody noticed it was even there the whole school year last year. And it not only saved me because obviously, you know, like no one was gonna steal my important documents, but also it made me know where my important documents were. Like I had a lot of health things where I had to have my insurance and all of that so many times, and it's easy if it's all in one place. And you know, I went on a school trip out of the country to Italy, so I had to have my passport, like I had to have all of those things, and it was just really good to have one place for all of them so that you know, I could put it all in one place and like be able to find it really easily because I knew where it was. So highly recommend that. Okay, next thing, this is specifically for people who are flying to college. If your college is close, you know, within the state or whatever, and you're driving, this is not for you. This is the people who are flying. If you are driving, which I did freshman year, I highly recommend using boxes, not reusable boxes, using like moving boxes, because you can break them down and throw them away and you're totally fine. And you don't have to store them. But for people who are flying, I highly recommend duffel bags. This is what I'm doing this year because I'm flying to college. I go to college on the literal other side of the country, and I'm flying this year and I'm bringing duffel bags. This is because sometimes you won't have places to put a ginormous hardcover bag luggage. I highly recommend bringing a mini one though. So like I have my normal size carry-on, like the biggest carry-on you can have that I take everywhere, and that I will obviously take. But I mean like huge, big, hard suitcases you don't want if you're flying, because you have nowhere to store them. So I highly recommend duffel bags. You can even get, I don't have them, but you can even get, I will link this down below on Amazon because I've been thinking about buying it. I haven't, and I'm probably not going to, but there's one ginormous duffel bag. It's like $100 and something. I have a bunch of duffel bags, so I'm not going to buy it, but I will link it down below so you can if you want to. But I highly recommend that one. It's huge. You can literally fit everything you want in that duffel bag and then, you know, have it be that. Okay, another kind of random thing is a computer case with a hand holder. So I have my computer case right here. If I can actually show you this. This is my computer case. I highly recommend this one. The problem is I didn't buy it on Amazon, so I can't link it down below. I might be able to find it though. If I find it, it will be linked. But it's from a brand called Tomac. But basically it has pockets and a handheld thing because I'm gonna be honest, if you are studying in other dorms, you do not want to carry your backpack. You will be carrying your backpack enough that your shoulders will hurt, and you will not want to carry your backpack if you're just going somewhere to study. And if all you need is your computer, you know, this one has little pockets, so you know you can put chargers and chargers and adapters and things like that, and you can just carry this because it has, I highly recommend this. I use this so many times to go study elsewhere. I also have one for my iPad, which is actually what I use for school, my iPad Pro. I have one of those for that too. Okay, another kind of random thing, a nightlight. So many people, I have lived with a nightlight my entire life, and that's not necessarily, you know, as a kid, it was because I was scared of the dark. I am no longer scared of the dark. I have a nightlight for safety reasons. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've woken up and tripped over something if I do not have a nightlight. And at school, I sometimes forgot how high my bed was, and I would fall off my bed because I couldn't see in the dark. Especially because I lived in the basement, so, you know, it was dark most of the time. We had windows, but, you know, it was dark a majority of the time. And especially if your beds are bunked, you're going to need the nightlights you can see so you don't like miss a rung and fall on your face. But also I just highly recommend having one because you never know if your roommate goes to bed later than you, or you have a roommate or whatever. You never know if they put something on the floor that you're going to trip over. So I highly recommend having a nightlight, even if you can handle sleeping with the tiny bit of light that a nightlight has. I highly recommend one. because it will straight up save you so many times if you get to bed, especially if you wake up, if you know you have to wake up to go to the bathroom at night. Having a nightlight instead of having to use your phone flashlight, which I did for the beginning of the year before I bought a nightlight, and I got mine from Walmart, but like you can buy that anywhere. Okay, next kind of random thing, a foam roller. I got mine from Amazon, so I will link it down below. Mine's just generic foam roller. This is so helpful. I cannot tell you, I talked about the backpack thing, but your shoulders will kill you. It does not matter if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete, I highly recommend you getting one anyway. But even if you are not an athlete, I still recommend getting one. You are going to be in so much pain from carrying things, and you know, you will just be in a lot of like muscle pain. And I highly recommend having one so that you can roll out, especially if you're stressed. College is stressful. You know, it'll release some tension if you can do that, because, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I've got, you know, I'm getting a fancy massage done, you know, in the next month, but like, you can't pay for that. Especially most college students cannot pay for a professional massage every month. I don't even want to pay for a professional massage every month, but like, you're gonna need something. So like, you know, make friends with people who like do massages and stuff, or have a massage gun. You can also get a massage gun, but I like the foam roller because for me it's easier to use than getting out a massage gun. Yeah. Okay, next kind of random thing, to-do list or planners. This planner thing, okay, this is a thing that saved me. At the beginning of every semester, I sat down with my syllabi and my planner and wrote absolutely everything from the syllabi into my planner. Presentations, homework, things were due, or like, you know, if you had part of a project, if it was like a final project but you had a part of it due one day, I'd write that down. I'd even sometimes write down what time I want to start working on a final project and like pieces I want to do at certain times. I am a huge planner, but also this helped me major amounts because so many of my friends would text me from class being like, what homework do we have due this week? And then I'd be able to send them exactly what we had due because I had written it down. Also, it made me mentally get to look at everything I had done and like check it off, and it made me feel completed, like I had completed a lot of things. Also, it was just really good because I could look at it in the morning and make sure I had everything that was due that day completely done. I didn't have to worry about it. And so many of my other friends, you know, talked about how they like forgot homework. Like so many of my other friends forgot homework or were late on a couple of assignments because they hadn't written it down, they hadn't done it. So I highly recommend that. Everybody recommends that, but honestly, as someone who did it versus a lot of my friends who didn't do it, I can tell you it does make a big difference. Okay, anything else I can think of? That's kind of all I had written down. Oh, multi-tool. I have multiple of them, but I multi-tool. You never know when you need something. Also, I recommend bringing multiple pairs of scissors. I was an idiot and brought one pair of scissors, and I was struggling because the pair of scissors I brought wasn't really a box opening scissors, and you just have no idea how many packages you get at college. Like there was a point where I was getting something from Amazon almost every single day, and the people at the box office were like, Gabby, come on, again? I'm like, and like, you know, my parents send a lot of like packages and things like that to me because that's who my parents are. But like, you just have no idea what's gonna happen, and then you get to college and then you're like, whoa. But anyway, I am going to have everything that I talked about that I can find an Amazon link for linked down below. So I hope you guys shop. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. It was kind of random, but yeah, I'm gonna go. So please like and subscribe and comment down below comment down below something that you used in college if you've gone to college that you absolutely loved and swear by. And I'll see you guys next week with another video. Okay, bye!